Here we freaking go. What is up, ladies? Happy freaking Friday, Junior. Coming at you very late compared to my norm, right? It is almost 5:30 p.m., but it has been one of those days. If you are watching this, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, give it a love, drop some comments, show me you're here, whatever. And I know somebody asked me earlier today because I made a post that I was going to come in here and talk about this subject we're going to talk about. And they're like, do you have a time? And I literally just could not give a time. So I apologize. It wasn't because like I was trying to be evasive or anything. I was just like, I don't know. Like my day is a little bit crazy unexpectedly. So here I am showing up and I hope that you are here to join me. So thank you for the like, whoever did that. I see that I have one viewer. I cannot see who that viewer is, but I have one thumbs up. So we're going to take that as a win. I will take whatever I can get from you guys. All right, let's chat about this, you guys. I posted a reel today and it's funny because I actually made this reel before I ever even asked this question in this group the other day. And it was just sitting in my drafts, ready to go. And then I just came up with asking the question in here of like, what is the thing that you feel like is a big roadblock when it comes to like being your healthiest, best version of yourself, right? Is it, a lack of time, a lack of knowledge, a lack of support? What is it? And the overwhelming, resounding response was that it really is a lack of time. And so while I get it, that I am not the person that's going to say we all have the same 24 hours in a day. We don't. Like, yes, technically, chronologically, everybody gets 24 hours in a day. Everybody gets 168 hours in a week. But like my 24 hours in a day are very different than the 30-year-old mom of two with like 2 under 4, right? My day is very different than the retired woman who, gardens every fucking day and goes to Pilates. Like our schedules look very different. And so I am not here to say that you don't have time. I am not here to tell you, if you really wanted it, you would just do it. I just want to like be able to hopefully give you some insight and some like awareness as to maybe where we could be better spending our time, and to also see like, is there a way that we could simplify getting to our healthiest self? Does it really have to be as overwhelming and time consuming as most of us want to make it? So if you have questions, if you have comments or anything, drop them in here as we go and let's do the damn thing. So first and foremost, I am going to go back to that reel and just some of the sort of like data and stats that I broke down in there. I said there's 168 hours in a week. If we spend do this in order to like achieve your best life, if we're spending 49 to 56 hours a week sleeping, which we all should be, right? We should all be trying to sleep for 7 to 9 hours every single fucking night. There are some people who cannot do that literally. Like I have a client who I was just meeting with today and homegirl gets like 5 hours of sleep and my heart goes out to her because I would be the biggest see you next Tuesday on the face of the planet if I was only getting 5 hours of sleep a night, you guys. Like even back in the day when I used to wake up to go to work at Delta Airlines, loading luggage, and at Orange Theory Fitness, opening the studio and coaching there, I was still going to bed at like 7:30 p.m. and then waking up at like 3:30 or 4, right? Like 3:15, 3:30. So I was still trying to make sure that I was in bed for 8 hours. And I was really good at like falling asleep right away because I was so fucking tired with that schedule. But anyways, we should be spending about, we'll just call it a third of our life sleeping, right? So we'll call it 29 to 33% of our hours. Those are going to be sleeping throughout the week. Okay. The other component or the next component that I mentioned was 2 to 4 hours a week lifting challenging weights, trying to get stronger. So I oftentimes see people who they're just working out way more than they need to be. Right? Like they think that they can't be healthy and fit, and they think that they're not healthy and fit because they just need to work out more. Newsflash, you don't need to work out more necessarily. You need to work out better. Okay. You need to be more like strategic with what that strength training looks like for you. It shouldn't look like where you have to peel yourself off the floor. You shouldn't be pouring in sweat. You shouldn't be like, oh my God, I'm hurt. Everything hurts and I'm dying, right? That'll typically happen like the first week of a strength training phase when we're doing some novel stimulus. Maybe we're working under a new rep scheme. We're doing maybe a few new exercises. You're waking up some of those muscles that you haven't necessarily been hitting on a regular basis. Like, yeah, you're going to be sore. But like one of the things that helps me that like I don't waste a lot of time working out because I'm following a strategic program, but also I don't go in there and get all sweaty and disgusting and then have to go like take a shower and waste a lot of time showering afterwards, which sounds weird, but like I used to be the person who was at Orange Theory or at my sweaty class or whatever. And so guess what? I had to spend a lot more time washing my hair and showering and all that stuff. Like I realize I don't look anything amazing here and like I can work from home and do this. But even when I was at Delta, they had a gym at the airport that I finally like bought a membership to at one point before COVID and stuff. And when I went to that gym, I didn't need to like go shower after my workouts because yeah, I'm getting a little bit sweaty, like hitting the weights and everything. But literally you could just take a little, what do they call that? Like a horse bath where you just take like a washcloth and like wipe down your skin, wipe down your armpits, put on some fresh deodorant and you're good to go. Like I go to the gym now and I can still go out and run errands and stuff afterwards because I'm not a disgusting, sweaty mess because yes, I'm working hard, but I think that people don't understand that you can work hard and not be pouring in sweat profusely, right? I'm lifting heavy weights. I'm doing it slow and controlled. Nothing is like, oh, fast paced jump. If you're jumping and shit in your workouts, I can tell you right now, you're doing a bad workout. So anyways, 2 to 4 hours a week of lifting challenging weights and chasing stronger. I want to get more into this here in a little bit. I'll go into some more details and stuff to give you some like real life tangible aspects, but let's get back on track, Crystal. 3.5 to 7 hours a week walking. And so I say 3.5 to 7 hours, because let's face it, if you are somebody who is working out on a particular day, like let's say you're working out Monday, Wednesday, Friday, well, maybe that cuts into the time that you could potentially be going out and walking, right? So maybe on the days that we're lifting weights, we're going for a 30-minute walk or 3 10-minute walks. And then maybe on the days that we're not lifting, we are able to get in a longer walk because, hey, we're not spending time in the gym. Now we have extra time that we can go out for a longer walk. Okay. Then I said, let's say you're working and you're commuting and that's 40 to 50 hours a week. Okay. That's like 24 to 30% of your week, right? Work is taking up almost as much, not quite as much, but almost as much as our sleep time, right? So that right there, just work and sleep alone is taking up like 66% of your life. But guess what? That still leaves another 33% to do everything else that you have to do, which again, everybody's schedule looks different. Okay. So what do we have? So if we put all of that in, we've got the sleeping for 49 to 56 hours. We're working out 2 to 4 hours a week. We're walking 3.5 to 7 hours a week, and we're commuting 40 to 50 hours a week. Okay. That still leaves us 51 hours on the low end, which is an average of 7.3 hours a day and 73.5 hours on the high end, which is an average of 10.5 hours a day. Okay. So it might not seem like that because it's like, well, Crystal, there's time getting ready, time doing this, time doing that. I'm picking up the kids. I'm doing this. I'm going to their activities. Da, 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 da. I get it. This is why I'm not saying that you don't have time. I just want you to get a little bit more aware of where your time is being spent, because maybe it doesn't look like that, right? You're probably like 7 hours a day on average to go do shit. Think about your weekends. Right? People are always like not going and getting their workout in on the weekend or something. And that makes no fucking sense to me. If you were scrambling for time during the week to get in a workout, one of the best things you could do is put your workouts on the weekends, right? If you're not working on Saturdays and Sundays, all of a sudden you have 8 to 10 extra hours on Saturdays and Sundays where you could go get in a fucking 45-minute workout. You could go get in a 1 to 2 hour walk even, because again, that's 16 to 20 hours that you're not working on those 2 days like you would be on any other 2 days during the week, right? Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? You have a lot of extra time on the weekends. And I'm going to be honest, because you guys know that's what I am here. You're sitting on your ass doing a lot of stupid things, or you're wasting a lot of time doing a lot of stupid things. I get it. Everybody has a stressful week. They want to like relax and stuff. You can still do that. That doesn't mean you can't like take care of yourself for a couple hours on Saturday and Sunday by going in and getting in a workout or a walk or something. Okay. Ooh, I see that there's 7 of you and I see I still only have 1 like. So like, what the fuck? Why are none of you liking this, hearting this, dropping a comment? Tell me what's going on. Like, hello, very rude. Tell me that you're here. I love you guys. Anyways. Okay. So we've got our 51 hours. to 73 and a half hours to do all the other things, which is a lot of things, right? We got to get groceries. We got to prep food. We got to spend time with our families. We got to have a social life. We got to binge watch fucking Love is Blind, even though this season was terrible. We got to scroll social media because like Instagram just like captures our attention, right? I totally get it. I am the same. I want to do all those things too, except maybe not the social life. Like I'm not really big on having much of a social life. I just really like to be a homebody. But anyways, so then I did really like in that reel, I had said the saying goes something like, you can have 1,000 problems in your life until you have a health problem. Then you only have one problem. So stop neglecting your health and choosing to make it an afterthought. So I know all of you can probably think of somebody like that in your life that you have known. Maybe it's even yourself, where everything felt super stressful and chaotic and overwhelming, and I have to do this and that and whatever. And then all of a sudden you're hit with some like medical diagnoses or something, and you're like, shit, this is really the only thing that matters right now, right? This is the only thing I want to give my attention and energy and priorities to, is this unhealthiness. So then it's like, what are all the things I should have been doing all along? So, you know, I've just had this conversation actually with a client today who she needs to go in and have a, like another mammogram done just to like make sure things are okay, right? It's one of those things like, we just want to be sure. It could be something, we're not sure. But what I told her was, how great is it that whatever the outcome is, you're already doing things to prioritize your health. So there's not going to be probably, if a worst case scenario, there's probably not going to be a lot of lifestyle adjustments that you need to make in order to like tackle whatever could potentially come your way. When we're already taking care of ourselves and something bad happens to our health or whatever, it feels like a slap in the face, I'm sure. Like I can imagine, right? I'm one of those people that I haven't had, knock on wood, like a ton of crazy health scares or whatever. But even when I've gone through the things that I've gone through over the past like year and a half with like gut health and getting off birth control and trying to like get into just a better quality state of my life, it does feel frustrating. Like, I'm doing everything right. And why are things not happening? But what's the alternative for me to not do any of the things that I'm doing? Like I would be in an even worse state if I wasn't taking care of myself. So anyways, let's get into some real actionable, tangible items. Now that we're 12 minutes into this, how do I help you guys to feel like you're buying back some of your time? Or for you to realize it doesn't have to be so stressful and overwhelming, and it shouldn't have to take that extra like 50 hours of your week. That should not be spent obsessing over doing all these things, right? So how do we get ourselves to be to our healthiest selves without feeling like it's a 24/7 job? Okay, so repetition and simplicity will always be your best friends. Remember that. The more that we can just repeat, the more that we can keep things simple, the easier this is all going to be. Okay, you'll get what I mean with that when we get into this. So another piece of this topic or a piece of this conversation is how do we build? So I've got my notes over here, you guys, because I want to stay a little bit on track. How do we build confidence? By sticking to our promises, right? The sticking to the promises that we keep to ourselves, because I get that from people, right? Like they want to come and work with me and they want to lose weight because they want to be confident. Well, losing weight isn't the thing that gets you confident. It's the process of transforming your body and thus transforming the things in your life that builds that confidence, right? If I just, this has happened. I have clients who have had weight loss surgery. I have clients who have had plastic surgery, and we didn't just like have the surgery and oh my God, I'm so confident. This is amazing. Look at me. They might feel a little bit better about themselves, and that might give them a little bit of a self-esteem boost and stuff, but we're not fixing what's going on here. And if we're not fixing our day-to-day things that we're doing to actually to feel like we've earned this body, then we're not going to keep those results. I'm dealing with this right now with a client that I'm like, dude, you had weight loss surgery. Like, did you not have to go meet with a therapist beforehand? Because the more we get into our coaching relationship, the more I realize she, like most of us, has some deep-rooted issues that she could certainly use some help with a mental health therapist, psychologist, somebody who specializes in that, so that she has a better understanding of like where her potential food issues came from. And so we're breaking through. She's going to be doing that. And I'm so excited for her, because once she can get more to that root cause, like she's going to have just this epiphany moment, and it's going to be life-changing for her, and she is going to be able to sustain the results that she wants with, of course, my support, right? I'm going to help her on my weekly basis of we're doing our check-ins. I'm making sure she's keeping up on the habits that she needs to make sure that this is truly a lifestyle. But like, she's not going to get there, or she didn't get there by just having the surgery. She needs to build the confidence by repeating the same things over and over for the rest of her life that allow her to get to that state where she ultimately wants to be, where she looks and feels the way that she deserves to feel. Okay. So anyways, you're going to build that confidence by sticking to the promises that you keep to yourself. And I really want you to think about this as I talk about the things that I'm going to have you do here, right? I'm going to tell you, hey, we need to plan this stuff in our schedule. We need to act like these things are appointments that we wouldn't cancel. I want you to think about how many times you've told yourself that, oh yeah, I'm going to get on my shit. I'm going to go hit my workouts this week. And then, I'm tired. I don't want to go. I don't have the energy. What if you had a friend like that was constantly fucking flaking out on you and not even like giving you a heads up, right? Like, let's say you're supposed to go meet your girlfriend for coffee on Saturday morning, and she just never shows up. Like, are you going to have confidence in that person? Are you going to feel like that's a good relationship, or is that somebody you want to have around? Yet you do this to yourself all the time. Oh, I'm going to eat healthy all week long. And you eat healthy Monday, you eat kind of healthy on Tuesday, and then you eat like an asshole the rest of the week, right? You're blowing yourself off. That is exactly how you don't build confidence, by not sticking to your promises and your commitments, okay? So let's dive into it. So here's my recommendations, how we do the things. Sundays, this is when you're going to plan and schedule things. Okay, we got to plan things. I will tell you time and time again, my most successful clients are the people who plan. They know workouts don't just happen. Getting in steps doesn't just happen typically. Getting in groceries and food prep and pre-logging, or getting our food in our MyFitnessPal so we can hit our protein and our calories and our fiber. That shit ain't just happening, right? What's up, Shauna? Thanks for being here, girl. And thank you. Thank you. Somebody is finally doing something. Anyways, like, they know that it takes a plan. I want you guys to think about this. Like, going through school your entire life, there's a syllabus, there's curriculum, or did your teacher just fucking wing it? No, that's ridiculous to think that we would just wing our way to getting these kids through 8th grade, right? It's just not going to happen. I used to be an elementary school teacher. Guess what I had to do? I had to plan every day, structured like to the minute of what I was doing with those kids all day. This is when we have math. This is when we have social studies. This is when we have English. That shit was planned. And not only was it planned for the day, it was planned for the week, for the month, for the quarter, for the semester, for the year. Shit does not just happen because we want it to, or because we wish it would, or because it's hashtag goals. You have to actually have a plan in place. Otherwise, it's just a fun little thought that you have in your mind, and shit's not going to happen. So on Sundays, we're going to do some things. We're going to plan and schedule our workouts and our walks in our calendar for the week. That's what you're going to do. What are the days that I can commit to this? You know, I had with a client conversation last week. She wants to get in 3 workouts a week. She wants at least 2 of them to be at the gym, 1 of them to be at home if need be. Great. What are the days you're going to work out? And again, this is where that repetition comes into play, where what is your workout schedule? It can change, but if we stick to my ideal workout schedule is going to be on Mondays and Wednesdays and Saturdays, then that's what I need you to schedule into your calendar. So let's say something happens. We don't get in that Monday workout. Okay, then we're moving it to fucking Tuesday. And then if we need to move the Wednesday workout to Thursday because of that, fine. But we need to say, these are appointments that I wouldn't blow anybody else off for. I'm not blowing off my doctor, my Botox, my hair girl, my nail girl, right? I get those things in no matter what. Why are my workouts and my walks and the physical activities I need to do any different? They should not be, because these are things that you need to be having a part of your day-to-day life. They're not just once in a while appointments, right? It's not just once in a while going and getting Botox, once in a while getting your hair done. You got to do this shit on a regular basis. So the more planned out you are with, my workouts happen on Mondays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, the more likely you're going to get those in. And again, we leave that wiggle room to, well, if I don't get it on Monday, I'm going to go do it on Tuesday. Shauna says, planning equals more time for workouts, especially prepping meals ahead of time. Girl, exactly. Like, that is the hack right there. Planning and prepping in advance. Guess what Shauna doesn't have to do today? She doesn't have to think about what she fucking feels like eating. She doesn't have to think about, ooh, how am I going to get protein? I know this because I work with Shauna, and I know she's planning her days. She knows this is the food I'm going to eat tomorrow Beautiful. Why? Because probably I ate something similar to that today and it was really easy. It made my life super simple. I got to have extra time with my family. I got to have extra time to go out on a bike ride. I got to do all these things extra with my time because I took a minute to fucking plan instead of just thinking somebody is going to hand me perfectly prepped food and portioned food and then log it in my MyFitnessPal. I'm just going to do it myself. That's my girl, Shauna. Yes. Okay. So we rearrange them if we need to, but canceling is a no-go. We do not cancel on ourselves because then we lose confidence in ourselves. All right. So try to consistently schedule the same time each day for those workouts and or walks. So let's say that your workout schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 a.m. I get it. You're like, oh, I'm going to sleep in on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Don't fucking do that to yourself. One, we should be going to bed and waking up at the same time 7 days a week. I don't care if it's Friday. I don't care if it's Monday. You should be getting up and going to bed at the same time, at least within a 30-minute window, okay? Because anytime you fuck yourself up every weekend by staying up 2 hours later, waking up 2 hours later, you're creating jet lag for yourself every Monday morning, and that's why everybody hates Mondays. I don't hate Mondays because I go to bed at the same time all weekend, just like I do during the week. Yeah, that's why you hate Mondays and I don't. Okay. So if you're going to be working out, like I said, maybe you're doing a 6 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Cool. Stick with that routine. Remember, repetition. Get up and walk at 6 a.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Get up and go for a walk with your girlfriends on the weekend, on the weekends, right? Do whatever you can do to try to maintain that schedule. And this isn't a forever thing. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't have to do that anymore because I am so regimented about making sure that I get my shit in one way or another that I can now have that flexibility. But I had to earn that flexibility by first having more structure. More structure allows for more freedom in the moment, and more structure allows for more freedom later on. Again, just like I've tracked macros for a long time, now I can have more flexibility with my food choices because I've built up the habits and the sustainability, and I recognize so much more about food and how much I need, how much I don't need, when I need to scale it back a bit, when I need to have more, right? Once you earn the right to be more flexible, then you can be more flexible. But until you are a person who identifies like I do, that every single day I do something physically active, you haven't earned it yet. You haven't built that trust in yourself. I've built in the trust in myself that I know if I do not get in a workout or I do not at least get in a walk, I'm going to have a shit day, and everybody who comes in my path is going to as well, right? There is a reason why I typically try to start all of my days with a walk before I do anything, okay? So yeah, try to have that similar schedule every day. Don't allow yourself to sleep in just because you can. Get up and go do something physically active on those days, okay? What else do I have here? Okay, sleeping in on the weekends and not working out, that's fine. Like, have your rest days on the weekends, but go out for a mother effing walk. We just talked about you have 16 to 20 extra hours over the course of the weekend. I do not know why you cannot spend a couple of those going out and walking. And here's me on my soapbox. Here I am. There are people that wish they could walk. They wish they had two limbs that they could go for a walk with. So you're slapping them in the face when you're like, nah, I don't feel like it. Oh, I'm too fucking lazy and I want to lay on the couch. Cool. Like, good for you. I hope you feel really great about yourself that you're actually taking for granted the ability to walk when other people cannot do that. Okay. So now let's talk about workouts and stuff too, and how we could break that up. Because as I mentioned before, I said, cool, like working out should not be happening every single day for hours, and we shouldn't be leaving sweating. We could spend 2 to 4 hours a week lifting challenging weights and chasing stronger. That is literally 1 to 2% of your week. 1 to 2% of your week spent working out. That is not too much to ask. So I have clients who they work out for just 15 to 20 minutes a day, most days of the week, right? I have one client, she works out 15 to 20 minutes, Monday through Friday. She does 2, maybe 3 exercises, and she walks on her treadmill, and that is her morning, and that is what she does Monday through Friday. And then on the weekends, guess what she does? She does longer workouts because she has more time to and because she wants to, right? It's not that they're like 2 hours long or anything, but she likes to stay active on the weekends. She wants to get in the strength training. I tell her she doesn't have to, right? But again, she keeps with that routine throughout the week, Monday through Friday, of getting up, doing her short workout, doing her steps. That's how she kicks ass and gets 11, 12,000 steps a day, even though she has a sedentary desk job where she sits on her butt all day long at work. She doesn't have the option for a stand-up desk or a walking pad like I do. She gets in 11, 12,000 steps a day, and she works out consistently every day because she knows it doesn't have to be a huge time commitment. It's just 15, 20 minutes. Then I have other clients who, okay, so let's break it down. So a client like that, where let's say they're just doing 15 to 20 minute workouts 6 days a week. Cool. That's 90 to 120 minutes out of an entire week. Remember, 168 hours. They're spending at most 2 of those hours working out. That's it. I'll have other clients doing like 30 to 45 minutes 3 days a week. That's 90 to 135 minutes. Again, we're still around that 2-hour mark on the high end. Then other people, they might be doing 45 to 60 minutes 2 days a week. That's again, 90 to 120 minutes, 2 hours or less. There are so many different options. And guess what? All of my clients are all on different schedules. I don't have anybody who follows the same workout routine. I don't have anybody who has the exact same schedule for workouts. I build what is going to work best for them, whether it's 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, whatever they can commit to, that's what we're going to do. And we're going to make sure that it fits into their lifestyle. And if it doesn't, then we need to reassess the plan, or we need to reassess some shit in their lifestyle so they can get it to be a priority. Okay. Also keep in mind that workouts are not for calorie burning. If anybody wants to see my little post that I have that like breaks down exactly how much exercise plays into your calorie burning, it ain't nothing. Okay. We burn more calories. Literally, I burn more calories sitting here at a desk all day than I would in a 1-hour workout. Okay. And same for you. So also, it's not a negotiation of, I don't have time to get in my steps and my workout. I hate that. That is one of my biggest pet peeves when people like in their check-in form will be like, well, I mean, I worked out that day. So, you know, I didn't hit my step goal, but it's okay because I worked out. No, it's not. The step goal is an everyday thing. Every day. It's 7 days a week. It's 365 days a year. I don't care. It is a minimum 7,000 steps a day for all of my clients because you are considered sedentary getting anything less than that. And you are not even thinking about fat loss until you're hitting like 8,000 steps a day on a regular basis, right? I just have a client who recently transitioned into a fat loss phase just this week. And I said, cool, we're going to hang out right here with your steps in that 7K to 10K range. I don't want to change that yet. First, we're going to manipulate your calories. We're going to drop those down. And then we'll see if we need to pull that lever of increasing your steps. But it's something we want to have in our back pocket if we need it. And we will need it, right? We just will. Like at some point, the 7,000 steps and the calorie deficit is where we're at is not going to be a vibe. And so it's going to be a, hey, do you want to move a little bit more or do you want to eat less? If you're anything like me, I'd rather just move a little bit more. Like, let me walk 20 extra minutes a day. I want to keep my calories where they're at. I don't want them any lower. So again, we don't get to like make these negotiations or these trade-offs of like, well, I didn't have to hit my steps because I got in a workout. The workouts are for building muscle. The steps are to keep your body moving because motion is lotion, people. Like it's just a day-to-day thing that we need to be doing. We shouldn't be couch potatoes. If you're sick, like really sick, like bedridden sick, okay, cool. Like we're not going to stress out about in those situations, but like quit it with the bullshit excuses of like, I'm too busy to get in my steps. You're not. I literally did an experiment last summer. I had my walking pad and I was like, you know what? Let's see what it's like for somebody who doesn't have a walking pad and they have a desk job. So in an 8-hour workday, I set an alarm on my phone and I got up for 5 minutes every hour on the hour for an 8-hour workday. And guess how many extra steps I got? Guess how many? 6,000 extra steps just from that alone. So quit thinking that it needs to be, it only counts if I go walk for 30 minutes. It only counts if I go walk for an hour. No, get up and move around for a few minutes every hour because you should need to anyways. You should not be sitting. This is not normal. We were not designed to be sitting for hours on end. So get up and walk, get in some movement, just 5 minutes, it adds up. As I said, 5 minutes over the course of 8 hours, I got 6,000 extra steps. If you're thinking about a step goal and like how to sort of reverse engineer it, it typically takes about 10 minutes to accumulate about 1,000 steps. So if you're like, oh my God, 7,000 step minimum, I have to go walking for 70 minutes. No, you do not. but you could certainly go for a 20-minute walk in the morning. You could do a 10-minute walk after lunch. You could do a 20-minute walk after dinner. That right there is 50 minutes. That's 5,000 steps. And then we could also, like I said, be getting up and moving around for 5 minutes every hour or every other hour at a work day. And guess what? 7,000 steps, just like that, right? It counts from all the things that you're doing all day long. I don't typically do like a cardio prescription for my clients. We are typically doing just things like, how do we get in more movement? So with that, I do have a little thing. If anybody wants it, let me know in the comments. It's 11 ways to get more NEAT. NEAT is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So again, these are going to be things that are going to promote getting in more movement, to get in more steps, so that you don't feel like you have to go spend an hour on a treadmill. Can you spend an hour on a treadmill? Yes. I personally love to go walk every day. We'll see how things go. The colder and colder it gets. But as of right now, I'm walking for like 80 minutes a day because I enjoy it and because I make the time for it. It is a priority of mine. If I don't get to watch a show tonight, I don't really give a shit. I need my walks for my sanity. Okay. All right, now let's move into one of your other tips. Keep a running grocery list in your phone. If you would like to see an example of this, I have it in my Costco grocery guide. If you want it, let me know in the comments. Say, hey, Crystal, I want that Costco grocery guide. I will send you the link for it. I literally give you screenshots of my grocery list. It is a running list. And so here's how I save time when it comes to groceries and meal planning and food prepping. I update that list throughout the week, right? Like I'm in the kitchen, I'm making something and I'm like, oh shit, I'm out of Laughing Cow cheese wedges. I just pop into my little notes app on my phone and I go into my section where I know I buy Laughing Cow cheese wedges. I buy them at Walmart. And so I go to my Walmart section of my grocery list and I have a bulleted checklist and I uncheck the Laughing Cow so that I know, I need to buy a Laughing Cow when I go to Walmart this week to get groceries, right? It's just a running list. It is the things that I know I always am buying or always having on hand. So for instance, at Costco, today I had to go to Costco, but guess what? I already went and had to grab some berries and stuff like yesterday or the day before because we were out. And so I just had to go to my little Costco list and be like, oh, yep, the only berries I need are blackberries because I have everything else. Oh, I need 2 things of spinach. I need 2 things of egg whites. I'm constantly updating this throughout the week as I run out of things or as I notice I'm running low on things. So grocery planning should not take a lot of time because it should just be a thing that you're doing throughout the week as needed. It shouldn't be this, let's start from scratch. Let's get a pen and paper. Oh, okay. What do you need from Costco? No, just keep it in your fucking notes app on your phone. It's so easy. Okay. Next, you should be getting your groceries on one day. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now, Friday nights, Saturday nights, those are like the best times to go get groceries. Friday nights are the move. Like they're way better than Saturday nights. Even if you can get groceries on Friday night, dude, it will save you so much time compared to going and getting groceries on Saturdays and Sundays. I'm telling you, you'll be in and out of there in a fraction of the time that you would spend getting those groceries on a weekend. I'm here to tell you, it is the move. It was such a game changer for me. It is one of my favorite things ever. So we get home with our groceries. Then what do? All we're going to do is do things like soak and rinse our berries, right? All you're going to do, throw your berries into bowls, soak it with some white vinegar, some water, let them soak for 1 hour, drain them, then put them in their little storage bins in the fridge. If you bought meat in bulk, so for instance, today I just bought my 10-pound beef tube from Costco. So immediately get home, section that out into like 2-pound quart-size freezer bags. Boom, all that's done. Put it in the freezer. We're good to go. That's all I did. Okay, that's all I need to do on my grocery shopping day. You don't need to do all the prepping. You don't need to do everything. It's just do the berries. And if there's anything in bulk that you need to portion out like that, do that. The next day, okay, we're going to keep it as simple as possible and just do 1 or 2 things. We're going to rinse and chop veggies if we need to, because guess what? I know you're letting those vegetables die in the veggie drawer, but if you just chopped them up and stuff and had them ready to go in some dishes, it would save you so much time and you would be much more likely to eat them instead of throwing them out. So like for me, my veggies are, I've got onions, I've got mushrooms, I've got spinach. I don't need to do anything with the spinach. Great. But those are the things that I use in my egg white omelets every day. And I do because they're already chopped up. I can just throw them in. If you're somebody who has way more money than me and you can buy the shit that's already chopped up, amazing. That'll save you even more time. That's even less shit that you have to like spend time doing. You have to weigh in on this. Is your time worth more than your money? For me, I'm still super cheap and I'm not willing to buy expensive shit. I have to like chop it up myself. Okay. So again, the day after we buy our groceries, all we're doing is rinsing and chopping our veggies. And then we can cook some carbs and veggies if needed. So for me, if I'm like doing my carbs, maybe in the Instant Pot, I'm cooking a pot of rice, or I'm cooking pasta, or I'm cooking potatoes. Cool. Do that in the Instant Pot. All that shit can be done while you are rinsing and chopping your veggies, right? We're multitasking. We're doing two things at once. It's going to take less time. We could roast some veggies if we wanted to. So maybe you're roasting Brussels, or you're roasting potatoes or asparagus. Is there something you want to throw in the air fryer? I love me my fucking delicata squash. So I'm doing that in the air fryer. Like, what can you be multitasking? And that's all you're going to do. You're going to do your carbs. You're going to do your veggies. You're good to go. Then the next day, we're going to prep our proteins, and that's it. Maybe we're going to grill our chicken out on the Traeger. Maybe we're going to cook some beef in a like saute pan on the stove, or you could cook your beef, your ground beef in the Instant Pot as well, right? That's it. You could hard boil some eggs in the Instant Pot. You could make some egg muffins in the oven. Cool. That's it. That is literally what you do. See how I section things off? It's groceries on one day and rinsing some fucking berries. It is carbs and veggies on another day, and then it is proteins on another day. This should only be taking you maybe a couple of hours here, a couple hours here, a couple hours here. Do you see how much more effective that would be and how much less stressful that would be to spend, maybe 6 hours doing all this shit? But it's so much better than doing 6 hours on Sunday all together. Oh my God, I went to the grocery store and everybody was a fucking nightmare. And now I have to come home and I have to wash all this food and I have to cut up all this food. I have to prep all this food and I have to cook all this food. Split it up. Do it on 3 different days. Don't do it all in one day. Okay. So now let's think about some things that are going to make your life easy when it comes to the groceries and the food. What are our no prep foods? So what are the foods that we can have on hand that are not going to require us to have to cook them? We don't have to grill them. We don't have to do shit. We have fruits, right? Apples, bananas, berries, oranges, kiwi. If you have to prep your food, like that's fucking stupid. Like it's no, there's nothing to do with it. We can have raw veggies. So carrots, snap peas, bell peppers, mini bell peppers, cool, whatever. Then we've got Greek yogurt, cottage cheese, deli meat. You could do deli meat with wraps. I love my Joseph's Lavash. I buy those at Walmart. You could buy sandwich thins and have, stuff to make sandwiches throughout the week. A salad mix bag, right? You got 80 million different mixed bag salads at the grocery store. You can have taco, you can have Asian, you can have Mediterranean, you can have Caesar. Buy the bagged salad mix. They're constantly on sale for like 3 for $10 or something. Cool. That can be literally, if you bought just one bag of that, you could have 2 or 3 lunches out of that. Throw some fucking protein on it, right? Get yourself a rotisserie chicken, or again, any of the meat that you already prepped on the grill or whatever. I personally am a huge fan of the hand-pulled rotisserie chicken at Costco. I will not be buying the regular rotisserie chicken. It is too messy and I have to like work to get it off the bones, and your girl doesn't have time for that. I want someone else to do the work for me, and it's fucking delicious. Okay. So we can also have things like frozen shrimp. They have the great, like already pre-marinated meats, like the Kevin's meats. There are tons of Costco options. If you want links to my high protein post, that also will give you things like all of the like no cooking shit from Costco. Let me know, drop it in the comments. I'll send you those high protein posts. More no prep foods. You can thaw frozen vegetables. So I do this with my frozen veggies from Costco: broccoli, green beans, riced cauliflower, Mexican street corn. I literally just pull those things out of the freezer, put them into a Tupperware, and put it in the fridge and just let it thaw. There's no need to cook it. There's no need to microwave it, nothing. I can just ingredient, right? I throw shit in a bowl and I call it a meal. Oh, what do I want for lunch today? Well, I'll have some microwave rice. I'll have some broccoli. And I'll have some of that rotisserie chicken, and I'll throw some fucking teriyaki sauce on it. Boom. Ingredients. You need ingredients. You don't need recipes. You add protein, you add a plant, you add a carb, you add flavor, and that is how you make a super simple meal that takes literally seconds to put together. Okay. What else do we have here? Microwave rice, rice cakes, oatmeal, bread, bagels, English muffins, popcorn. You don't need to cook any of this shit. You guys, tons of no prep foods. So when you tell me you don't have time, you're fucking full of it. Okay. Other things we can do to save time for ourselves. Make breakfast ahead of time. Overnight oats. You can make a big ass batch of protein pancakes when you do have some time, and you can freeze those things. We've got yogurt, we've got cottage cheese. You could do those with berries. You could add in some granola. You could add in some protein powder if you needed, and you could make those ahead of time. You can make for 3 days worth. You can make for 5 days worth. You probably don't want to put the granola in there, but you can portion out your yogurt or your cottage cheese. You can add in protein powder if you want. And if you like, sometimes the berries are like, oh, it gets a little bit soupy inside the yogurt or whatever. Cool. Like keep them in separate containers, but have them portioned out and ready to go. So you can throw those breakfasts together super simply. If you're somebody who needs more of like a liquid meal on the go, great. Make yourself a little smoothie bag. Or they even sell little smoothie bags at Costco in the freezer department. I know because I have them in my freezer. I just saw them today. And you can make a smoothie on the go and drink your breakfast. If you want links to my quick meals post, let me know. I'll drop it in the comments for you. I have like, there's over a dozen, there's like 20 different recipes on there for these meals that take 10 minutes or less to put together. Also, one of my big hacks for doing like eggs and stuff in the morning is I love my easy egg which makers. So I just pour egg whites in them. I put them in the microwave for like 3 minutes. Boom. If you want the link to that, I'll send you that. And then the ultimate hack, you guys, pre-log your fucking meals the night before. Pre-log your meals the night before. That is what you need to do to ensure success. It's actually going to be a part of the 21-day challenge that we're doing in my community starting on Sunday. That is going to be one of the ways that these people are going to earn participation points is we will have a challenge in there all about pre-logging our meals the night before. It ensures success. And here's what I think people get so hung up on. They're like, well, if I put it in there and I don't want to eat it, cool, you're a fucking adult. You can change it. It is so much easier to have a basic blueprint there and be like, okay, I've got this. I know that if I hit these targets, I will hit my goals and I'll feel really good about that. That is so much easier to then decide, you know what? I don't actually feel like having that. I literally did this today. I do this almost every day where I'm changing something, right? I decided I didn't want to have another meal. I had originally was supposed to have like 2 different meals. It was going to be like spaghetti squash with beef and red sauce. And then another meal, I was going to have chicken and coleslaw mix and dressing. And I was like, I don't want that meal. I don't actually have time for that. So instead, I'm just going to eliminate that and I'll have more beef and I'll have more spaghetti squash, right? I'm just increasing my protein source. I'm increasing my carbohydrate / veggie source. And I had some more red sauce. And I also put in cottage cheese to give myself more protein in my sauce. That's a whole other conversation for another day. But like I could easily just swap things out and play with the ingredients and change things rather than being like, it's 5 o'clock. What do I want to eat for dinner? I don't have to think about that. It's just, I either want this thing that's already there or I want to go waste more time and energy finding something else. Guess what? I don't fucking have time and energy to go do that. As it is right now, I'm late for getting in my sauna and eating my fucking creamy because I'm talking to you guys, which I love. But like, again, it's so much of a time saver. This is the life hack. Pre-log your shit and plan it. So on Sunday night, log your Monday meal. Then on Monday, you're sitting on the couch, you're watching fucking Law and Order or whatever it is you do. Amazing. Take the meals on Monday and you're like, cool. Am I going to eat some of that shit tomorrow? Like for me, my meals, my first meal is drinks. That's where I log all my drinks, like my coffee and my electrolytes and all that. And so I'm like even right now, yeah, I'm going to have all those same drinks tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm going to have my stevia with my coffee, with my creamer. I'm also going to have my creatine. I'm going to have my LMNT electrolytes. So I go to the bottom of that meal in MyFitnessPal. There are 3 dots. I hit those 3 dots and it says turn off smart copy, quick add, save as meal, copy from date, copy to date. I'm going to copy to date and I'm going to copy it to tomorrow. Boom. And I'm going to do that with all of my meals. And then I'm going to decide, is there anything I want to change? Do I want to have the beef and the spaghetti squash tomorrow? No, maybe tomorrow I want to have the chicken and the coleslaw mix and the salad dressing. You just make the plans and you pre-log them and then you are free to change them. But structure provides freedom. We all want freedom. You're not going to feel like you're ever free from like the stress of tracking and stuff if you're constantly doing it at the last fucking minute and you're like, oh shit, I have 100 grams of protein left that I have to eat today, but I only have 100 calories left to eat today. That's not going to happen. Like, you're just wasting so much time. So again, copy and paste things, keep your staple meals the same, pre-log the things that are like your non-negotiables that you have to have. Like, every single day, I'm going to have my coffee and my coffee creamer. That is a non-negotiable every day. Every day I'm having this delicious frozen Reese's chocolate dipped animal cracker that I keep in my freezer. I get one every day when I come home from the gym. That's getting pre-logged every day because I'm going to have it no matter what. My creamy every day for dessert. It's getting pre-logged because I have it no matter what. Most of you are eating a lot of the same foods over and over. If you're stuck on this whole bullshit of like, nah, I don't like eating the same thing, you already do. Like, there's no way you're eating 21 different meals 7 days a week. That is impossible. I don't know a single person on God's green earth who has the time to have 7 different breakfasts, 7 different lunches, 7 different dinners every day. Save yourself some hassle and just swap things, right? You could literally track on Monday and just be like, cool, I'm gonna eat all these foods. It might look different. Like, my dinner tonight might be my lunch tomorrow, and my lunch today might be the same as my dinner tomorrow. Great. If you're just going to eat the same foods every day, just moving around the order in which you eat them or whatever, then you only have to track your food one day. One day. You don't even have to track your food all week. Literally, if you just eat the same things Monday through Friday, you track once and you're good to go. And then guess what? You have all that extra time on the weekends because you're not working. You can surely track on the weekends, right? Okay, cool. So yeah, mix and match ingredients. So for instance, like my meals this week, I've done beef with spaghetti squash and red sauce. Okay, that's been something I've had. But then I've also done chicken and coleslaw and dressing. You guys already heard me talk about this before, right? So then maybe the next day, I just swap out ingredients. Now, the next day I'm having chicken with spaghetti squash and a white sauce, and I'm having beef with coleslaw and a different dressing, right? When I had my chicken with the coleslaw, I did my dill pickle dressing. When I did my beef with the coleslaw, I did this like roasted fiery ranch dressing, right? Simple swaps like that. I never feel like I'm eating the same meal over and over because I'm changing up the flavor profile and I'm, again, mixing and matching ingredients. So it's totally different. Those two salads are not the same thing. White sauce and red sauce and chicken and beef make a pasta dish totally different, okay? So I know that was a lot. I was not planning on being here for 46 minutes, but here we are. There was a lot to talk about, and this will be one that I'm sure I'm pointing people to a lot because I get really, really sick of people saying they don't have time. I just feel like, again, most of the time we're just wasting a lot of time because we don't think about where we could save time. If there's anything at all helpful in this, please let me know. If you have feedback for me, or if you have tips that would help you or that have helped you that you think would be beneficial for others, please, please, please share them. I think it's huge. A couple things that I wanted to mention. I wanted to talk about front loading your days. So getting in your protein, your fiber, and your movement early on in the day. I think that is super helpful for everybody. If you can have like a heavy hitting protein and fiber breakfast, and if you can get in a good amount of your steps before you've reached the midpoint of the day, those are huge for just making the rest of your day so much more successful. I would also recommend consistency calendar. If you want to see a recording I've done about the consistency calendar, there's plenty of them in this group. I think there's one pinned at the top of this group, and I have another one I could send you that's like a YouTube video that I recorded earlier this summer. But yeah, those are a couple other things I want to mention. So, all right, time to go sauna and creamy. I love you guys. I hope you're having an amazing week, and I hope that was helpful.